So, peace and love. Hope everyone is feeling extremely energetic, extremely harmonious. Um, Always consciously set your intent every day you wake up to make sure you study your thinking, you study your body language, you study your momentum, you study your pace, the pace in which you move at. Make sure make sure that you breathe, make sure that you embrace uncomfortability, and make sure that you believe in your skills, and make sure you believe in your decisions, your choices, your perspective and your perception of will believe in everything that you think and do, and know that you know what you know, and trust in what you know, but don't second guess what you already know to be true. The more and more you embrace your inner knowing, the more and more you can push forward in life, and you can bring forth a high level of energy. When you bring forth that high level of energy, then you introduce the world to a higher vibration. And when you introduce the world into that high vibration, then you start to bring a new reality into reality, or into other people's reality. And you bring that frequency or that energy. And when you set your intent and you be so intentional that your energy speaks without you even verbally speaking, just because you brought a high level of energy. So when you bring that high level of energy, then you're able to make other people move. It's just like you can study the energy of people body language, or the placements of people inside a store, because before you go into a store, you already set your intent consciously or either unconsciously. Your energy is going to determine whether you have an argument with a person in line, whether you have a complication, or whether something go left, or whether or not something go right. But based upon you setting your intent, because you have what you call your intentional conscious thinking, which is your intentional thinking, but then you have your unintentional thinking. So we can have unintentional thoughts that controls our behavior, or controls our perception towards reality. So if you don't study your thinking, and if you don't know why you think certain thoughts, then your unintentional thinking can make your thinking scattered, to whereas you start to behave and you start to respond based upon programs and based upon energies you have adopted. So just like when you walk into someone house, or if you walk into a location, you walk into a building, you walk into a neighborhood, you're walking into a frequency, into another dimension. So every car, every house has its own dimension. So if you put on someone else's clothes or jackets, you're putting on their spirit, their frequency. So no matter who you're around, like if you're around six broke people, you will become the seven. You're around six dumb people, you will become the seven. Eagles don't fly with pigeons. So you have to make sure that you're not living on a lower dimensional level. The ultimate goal is to surround yourself around other people that's like-minded, that's striving towards self-mastery and a high level of self-love. Because if you're around people on a low vibrational level, or that speak negative, or that's always bringing a low energy, like they're depressed, then that'll only take away from your heart. It'll only plant seeds unconsciously and influence you unconsciously to think negative about your reality, just because they think negative about their reality. So just based upon being around their frequency, because your conscious is not within your brain. See, the brain is a transceiver. So the brain is different from the mind. The brain is the physical organ, but the mind is the invisible conscious. So in other words, you can feel a person's energy without even touching them, because they're not the body, they're the energy. So you can sense out someone's intention, or their thinking, or how they feel towards you, or whether or not they got hate in their heart, or because you have what they call harmonic resonance, or constructive interference. So you have constructive interference, but then you have destructive interference. Now, constructive interference is when two people come in close range or close proximity, and both of their heart's electromagnetic energy starts to synchronize and become one. And when that takes place, that's what you call harmonic resonance. Now, destructive interference is when two people come together and there's a disconnection, and y'all don't vibe. That's what you call a bad vibe. So when you get a harmonious sensation based upon someone else's electromagnetic energy, then that's because the person's heart is resonating with your heart frequency or electromagnetic energy. So that synchronization creates even more magical, high vibrational experiences that allows the moment to be very synchronistic and very serendipitous. So the more and more you consciously set your intent and make sure that you study your pace when you wake up. You study the way in which you move. You study your momentum, your energy. You study your level of exactness. You want to make sure that you move with a high level of exactness and make sure that you bring a certain frequency into your day, and you set your intent about being calculated, meticulous, detail-oriented, solution-oriented, systematic, solution-based in your thinking, and even making sure that you're being very meticulous, making sure that you're being very scholastic, studious, educational, productive, positive, and making sure that you expect positive future outcomes to take place all during the day. Because all you have to do is identify any thoughts that's basically making you worry about, what if this take place? What if that take place? Or what if this go wrong? What if that go wrong? Or what if this happened? What if that happened? Like, when you think of all of those negative thoughts about, what if I had problems with my anxiety today? What if I have to deal with my overthinking today? What if I have to worry about being nervous or feeling anxiety? Like, when you think of all of the things, first off, you want to identify your predictive patterns. So any patterns you can predict, or any negative thinking habits or emotional habits or behavior habits that you can predict or foresee, you want to create a premeditated solution. So by the time the situation surface and occur, you can already have a solution-based response. And that's what you call a premeditated solution. So in my book, my ebook, Never Belittle Your Greatness, Only Your Thoughts Exist, I talk about having premeditated solutions and being mentally prepared. And I even speak about thought organization. And that's all about organizing your thinking and making sure that you have a systematic way of thinking on how to think. Excuse me. But see, in school, for example, in school, they teach you what to think, but not necessarily how to think. So there's a certain art to thinking. There's a science to thinking. So in order to be extremely analytical or critical in your thinking, because you have critical thinking, which is like analytical thinking, but you also have creative thinking, which is like lateral thinking. And with lateral thinking and critical thinking, because lateral thinking is basically having a systematic approach that allows you to arrive at a conclusion based upon a logical assessment. But you put that result, or you put your conclusion that to the side. So like, say for example, you analyze the situation. You sit back, you be the observer. You pay attention to detail. You analyze the situation and you make an assumption. That's what a scientist does. A scientist, being scientific in your thinking, is all about making assumptions, making guesstimations in order to make a prediction, in other words. So a scientist is one who foresees and then run another experiment in order to see if that conclusion is the same conclusion in different circumstances or within different environments. Because you can have one conclusion or one result from running an experiment, but it may show up different under different circumstances. So you have to factor in different components and different aspects of multiple different situations. So you have to analyze and view situations from multiple different angles and from multiple different points of views in order to have a holistic viewpoint of what's actually taking place. So just imagine this, picture this. You're sitting back, you're observing, you make a logical assessment, you come to a conclusion, but you put that on delay, you put that to the side, and then you consider other alternative, or you consider multiple different other points of views and possible angles or unexpected reasons for why the person did what they did or said what they said. So you could have been observing, sitting back and observing someone say something or do something, and you can have explanation or a logical reason behind why they did it from your point of view. But you don't want to stop right there. You want to put that to the side and put that on hold, and then you want to consider other different alternative approaches or points of views in order to have a very calculated response. So it's all about making sure that you're extremely calculated and making sure that you're being highly effective in your approach to life. You want to make sure that you're being highly effective and making sure that you concentrate your energy. And when you learn to concentrate your energy, you're able to control the energy in your environment. You're able to you're able to alter the energy or the frequency of other people around you just based upon your frequency being harmonious and you operating on a high vibrational level. So you're bringing that joyful energy, in other words, because love, joy, and gratitude can only be experienced when a person is fully present in the moment. Hurt, pain, or negative emotions can only be experienced when a person is living in the past or they're anticipating a negative future based upon a negative past memory or experience, I should say. So it's all about making sure you focus your energy and you have a solution-based focus, and you consciously remind yourself of certain thoughts all throughout the day. So it's all about making sure that you wake up and you think certain thoughts. And I want to censor, and I don't know who on the live. Let me see. So it's just all about making sure that you be analytical. Make sure that you narrow your focus, your thought focus towards solutions, and make sure you dwell on positivity and make sure you don't dwell on negativity. Because remember that you can have a solution-based focus or a problem-based focus, but it's up to you. It's all about the most consistent thoughts that's constantly being generated throughout your thoughts, throughout your psyche. So your brain is always pulling in thoughts from the quantum field or from the universal conscious. Your brain is always pulling in thoughts and creative ideas. So so in other words, all thoughts that's in a quantum field, in a universe, in a universal conscious, you have to understand that there's nothing new under the sun. If you heard that saying, it's nothing new under the sun, because everything that you can create has to be created out of something that was already existing. So in other words, nothing is actually created. Everything is only transformed from one form into another form. So everything, every idea that we mentally create or we mentally produce, it's an idea that has already existed in another dimension, in another form. And it's all about perceiving that same one thing from multiple different angles and points of views. So even when you look at God is experiencing itself through us through multiple different points of views. So it's all about just looking at things from multiple different angles. And I kind of shift my focus, but what I will say is this: we're gonna pull energy that's positive or negative from the universal conscious based upon the energy that we mentally generate and send out. So you get what you give, you reap what you sow. What you send out, you get back what you think you attract. So based upon your most consistent thought focus will determine whether or not you manifest and synchronize and pull in and magnetize a high vibrational reality or low vibrational reality. But it's all based upon what you magnetize, what you attract, what you pull in. And you can pull in high vibrational energy or low vibrational energy, but it's up to you. Whether or not, it's all about, are you consciously setting your intent to be in your reality, to alter your frequency, to alter your reality, to alter how people perceive you, and to alter and to change and to enhance how you mentally perceive yourself, so that you can take more ownership of your greatness, so you can take more ownership of your redness, so you can be more in tune with the core essence of what makes you you at the core. So you have to make sure that you persevere in how you perceive yourself, and make sure that you don't give up. Never give up in how you perceive yourself, because when you determine how you perceive yourself, it doesn't matter what somebody say, what they think, what they accomplish, what they achieved. It don't matter if they the strongest person on the planet. It doesn't exist within your reality or within your way of thinking, because when you think big of yourself and you don't think small of yourself, then everybody else's frequency is only circulating around your reality. So you're the center of your reality. So self-focus is the best focus. So the more you focus more on others and less on yourself, then you externalize your power and you feel powerless, because you start to give so much mental energy to people around you that it takes away from your self-focus. It takes away from you highlighting your greatness, your great rare characteristics, your uniqueness, your specialness, what makes you different. So in other words, there's no other me up on the planet. So that means that when I get up on live, or when I communicate, or I choose to articulate myself in conversation, that means that I'm giving a person an experience based upon my perception of reality and my perception of myself. So my perception of myself is determined based upon my subconscious programming, not based upon what people did to me or made me feel in the past, even though I used to belittle myself in the past. But even if I belittle myself in the past, it doesn't compare to how I was able to basically to reshape my brain structure. And that's what you call neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is being able to reformulate your brain structure based upon new thoughts, new emotions, new experiences. And when you have new thoughts, new emotions, and new experiences, it helps to basically reformulate your brain structure. So it's all about your neurological functions, because certain people have neurological dysfunctions. We all do to some extent, but it's all about having a healthy brain. So in order to maintain that healthy brain, you have to drink a lot of water. I should say. I have an accent. But you have to drink a lot of water, and you have to make sure that you exercise. Make sure you consciously wake up every single day and set your intent to generate a high level of energy. And that's very key. That's very important, to make sure that you stay mentally healthy. So in order for the brain to work at its highest level, in order for you to be mentally super stable, because you can be very intelligent, you can be genius, but if you're genius and you don't drink enough water, or you don't exercise, or you don't run, then you're not generating enough blood, and you're not allowing your blood to circulate to be actually fooling your brain, to make your brain function at its highest sophisticated level. But when you consciously set your intent and design your reality according to high vibrational thoughts, because it's all about overwhelming your brain with positive thoughts and positivity. So you have to become everything that you come across. It's no point of listening to so much information but not embodying the information. If you hear me articulate information that's able to help you basically succeed and move forward and elevate your frequency and elevate your personality, but you choose not to take advantage of the energy that you're able to utilize to your advantage in order to create a higher vibrational reality, then you're not allowing yourself to experience your greatest self if you're not allowing yourself to generate a high level of energy, because it's all about bringing the greatest version of you within to the surface outside, so everybody else can perceive it, so everyone else can know the true you. So in other words, you have to know you regardless of what other people think, regardless of what other people say. You have to be you. You have to create the perception of you that you want to have, regardless of what other perception that other people have of you. You have to know what you know about you. You have to know your truth. You have to own your truth. You have to live your truth with ease, because it's all about what you make it. If something is hard, it's only because you choose to think small. If something is easy, it's because you choose to think big. So another person's big is another person's small. So your big can be someone else's small. But it's all based upon a person's perception. So when you think big of yourself, then you look at other situations as being small because you think so big of yourself. So in other words, you define every moment and situation, and a situation don't define itself and it don't define you. So when you think big of yourself, then all situations are small. So seek to find a beauty in everything. When you stop seeking a beauty in everything, then you start to see small things as being big. And you start to think small of yourself. But you think small of yourself because you allow your unintentional, negative, unwanted thinking to interfere with your conscious experience. So when you allow your unwanted, negative, unconscious, automatic thinking to interfere with your conscious experience, then you're not allowing yourself to perceive the highest aspect of the true you. The true you is the you at your greatest. The true you is not the you that you think that you are, that you told yourself that you are all your life. See, there's multiple different layers and multiple different versions of you. Oh yes, thank you. I received that. I am humble. But when you choose to utilize information in order to elevate your frequency in your thought process by making sure that you have a very categorized thought process, because when your thinking is categorized, then it's basically organized and you're systematic in your approach to thinking into life. And when you're systematic in your approach to life, then you're scientific in your thinking, because you don't look at situations based upon symbolism or face value. You overanalyze and you seek to analyze the details, and you choose to utilize your gift of being able to be very, very consciously aware, because you can look in a person's eyes and you can see the old soul. You can look in a person's eyes and you can see the rareness. But it's all based upon your observation, based upon your conscious observation, your conscious knowledge, your conscious wisdom, your conscious perspective. And when you consciously bend your reality and create your reality, then you can bend your reality in such a way that you're able to pull in multiple different realities. All realities exist in the present moment, but it's all about you and how you perceive you, because life is always reflecting and bringing back in what you perceive of you. So based upon how you mentally perceive yourself, that image is being sent from your subconscious into the universal conscious, and is being brought back into the form of an experience that has been formulated based upon your subconscious. Because whatever you think consciously is being programmed in your subconscious, and your subconscious is sending the information back out into the field. So when your subconscious sends the information back out into the field, based upon what you consciously program in your subconscious, then your subconscious is going to bring it back around and make it serendipitous or magical or manifest into your reality. So as soon as it manifests into your reality, it's going to give you a new experience. So anytime you have new thoughts, new moments, new experiences, that's what you call neuroplasticity. And that's what reformulates your brain structure. And the more and more you learn new things, the more and more you create new neural pathways within the brain. The more and more you relive positive, rare moments of yourself moving highly effectively in your greatness, the more and more you pull in that genius high vibrational energy. And when you pull in that genius high vibrational energy, then you're able to make sure that you manifest high vibrational harmonious experiences that brings you joy, that brings you magic, that brings you abundance, that brings you wealth. And it brings you abundance and it brings you wealth because you're radiating that frequency. And when you radiating that frequency, you pull in that energy. You pull in that frequency. Like, come on live. And when you pull in that frequency, then you start to see like the synchronicities or the spiritual signs or the magical signs, they start to basically increase. And then once that increase, then your joyful spiritual flow starts to increase along with the synchronicities. So first, your mind, your mental elevate and it expands and you elevate your frequency and that increase. But then your spiritual momentum, your vibrational frequency increase, and then you start to pull in multiple different vibrational experiences. And then just based upon your energy, you're going to be able to heal other people just based upon you radiating a high vibrational energy. When you're radiating that high vibrational energy, then you're able to basically have the most magnificent, rich experience in the world. Because I'm rich in moments, I'm rich in experiences. So like, a scientific study shows that the most happiest people are the most grateful people. The most happiest people are the most grateful people. So when you're thinking of lack, that's dealing with worry, that's dealing with doubt, that's dealing with distrust. Trust in yourself, trust, but never trust in yourself, distrust. I'm going to say that again. Trust in yourself, trust, but never trust in yourself, distrust. So when you trust in your thinking, what was it that I said? I think I lost myself already. I lost my thoughts. But I'm gonna just say this. When you trust, I lost. I can never lose my flow, but it's like, what a start. And then let me say this: my book, Never Belittle Your Greatness, Only Your Thoughts Exist. It's on Amazon. It's on Apple, but you can get it from me. I sell it personally, so you can cash at me. But that's if you want my magnificent book. I'm working on my second book. But just to finish this genius elevated conversation, to basically send out this high vibrational energy, because I want every person watching to be elevated just by this conversation. I'm just a messenger. I'm just here to convey a spiritual, articulate message. So let me talk my talk. Let me talk my talk. And then I need to tag some people. And I want to tag some people. Hold on. Just because I got to wake some people up. Because I only got one person on live. I need like 10. I had like 18 the other day. I would like okay, okay, excellent. I love that. Thank you for your magical, magnificent support. And look, you still hanging with me. Like my it been going from like 3 people to 4 people back to 1 people. It keep like fluctuating, going back and forth. But I see that one, and you the number one. You the chosen one. So it only, see, what's real is rare, and what's rare is rarely seen. Rare people attract rare people. So in other words, you're so special. You love so deeply. You feel everything so deeply. That's why we speak. That's why we synchronize. That's that energy. That's that connection. And rare people attract other rare people. And every powerful person you attract is saying something about you. So every powerful person I meet is saying something about me. It allows me to see myself. It allows me to see what I was able to manifest and pull into reality. And I was able to pull in different things into reality based upon me just being able to be harmonious, to be conscious, and to consciously create my reality. But inbox me, send me your email, and I'm gonna send you the Cash App. You send me the Cash App, I'm gonna just send it to you through email. It's an ebook. It's like 108 pages. It's 28 chapters. One chapter is called Never People Please or Seek Outside Approval. Another chapter is called Solution-Based Thinkers versus Problem-Based Thinkers. Another chapter is called Emotional Dependence versus Emotional Independence. Then another chapter is called Self-Mastery Achievers versus Low Achievers. Then another chapter is called Only Your Thoughts Exist. Then another chapter is called Your Thoughts About Reality Is Not Always Reality. So I have a lot of genius thoughts in my book, and it's only $15. It's only $15. And I sold like 20 copies by now. See, that's magical. Look, and you assigned. You hanging with me. Look. Let me see. I want to bring everybody into this live. I want to bring everybody. So I want to wake everybody up with this live. Because I need everybody to be on point, because with this elevated frequency and us bringing a high vibrational energy and bringing that harmony and bringing that love and bringing that joy and bringing that mental clarity, I want to bring a certain frequency to where every person watching is able to elevate their frequency or activate their high vibrational perception of self based upon this powerful date. Today is 444. It's 444. So when you look up when you look at the month, you look at the day, and you look at the year, 2020. So that 444, the number 4, the frequency, the vibration of it is dealing with structure, organization, being systematic in your thinking, paying attention to detail, but also being able to have a very expansive point of view and having a very wide range of knowledge. So I still want to bring a lot of more, a few more people in. So bear with me. So it's all about consciously setting your intent and consciously being intentional about bringing a certain energy, bringing a certain frequency, bringing a certain level of genius, bringing a certain level of insight. And then it might be too early for people. Let me stop trying to bring people in, Look,